story is I was trapped into human trafficking. I met this guy in a tab where I was working. So he got my trust and my confidence and everything, and he told me he has a job for me in Cape Town to look after children because he knows I love children. And he bought my bus ticket, everything. When I came down here, a black guy came and picked me up. That was a Nigerian. And when I got here, and we got to the house, I asked him, where's the children? So he told me, no, they're still coming. And told me I must go and rest in the meantime. So went to the room, lay on the bed, and later that day he came and he woke me up and he told me I must get ready, I'm going out. And that's where I found out I'm actually going to be a prostitute. Yeah, biggest challenges was getting into a stranger's car, because you don't know what's going to happen. So it's like pretty heavy. Emotionally, there's a lot, because you lose your self-confidence. It's like basically you lose your whole life, because you're trapped in drugs, you can't go without it. So it's messing you up totally. It's making you harder than a stone, because it makes you forget about the pain and the suffering that you have to go through. But when you are sober for that few minutes or the next day, then you sit and you cry because you miss your people, you miss your life that you had, and you wonder, how did I get myself into this situation?
When I came to South Africa to do mission work, God put on my heart to reach out to the women in prostitution, and especially the underage one. But soon I found out that some of them really didn't want to be there and do what they were doing, which was a complete new thing for me to realize and understand. And I started learning and hearing about exploitation and human trafficking. As I was pondering into this vision and trying to see, okay, how am I going to start that? Like, God, this is so big, this is so huge, this is too much. I just got married and I had the desire to have children, and I couldn't put the two together. And the Lord told me, Miriam, it's gonna come together. Both the physical birth and the ministry or the work, the vision I gave you. To the point that I found out I was pregnant, and in the same time, things started moving in terms of looking for a place. I was almost due at that time, and I was supposed to sign the lease before the birth. But the day I was meant to meet the owner to sign the lease, at midnight, that night, I had my first contraction. And I was about to go to the hospital to leave, and the owner came to the gate, and between two contractions, I signed up that lease, and I went to the hospital to give birth to my son. So, yes. Obviously, the trauma that some have been through is really great, is really big, and it will take a long time for healing to happen. And some of them really struggle with depression, societal thoughts, voices. But no matter the challenge, we really here for them. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to specialize in, this type of care, and be there for them and bring the resources for it.
The biggest challenges in human trafficking in South Africa, but also globally, is that it's such an unseen crime. If you think that every 30 seconds someone becomes a victim of human trafficking, you realize that it's happening all around us all the time. In fact, in South Africa, there are an estimated 250,000 people who are living as victims of human trafficking, 80% of which are women and girls in sexual slavery. So educating people about human trafficking and restoring those communities is a powerful way to fight this crime.
17 years ago, I found myself standing outside a bungalow in a little white dress. I had been in an emotionally abusive relationship of 3 years. It was my first long-term relationship. At that point, I was incredibly insecure and my self-esteem was very low. The night before, we'd been at a party and my boyfriend had bullied me and manipulated me into downing a very toxic alcoholic drink. I was so desperate for his love and I so naively trusted him that I downed that drink and I soon found myself paralytically drunk. A concerned friend took me off to a bungalow to sleep it off. As I came round into consciousness in the early hours of the morning, I became aware of a man sexually abusing me. To my horror, there were other men in the beds and around me on the floor. And I think what haunted me for a long time was that I had no memory recollection of what else could have happened in those 6 hours that I vulnerably lay there. My pain comes from the betrayal and manipulation of one man I thought loved me. One woman trafficked into the sex industry. That is a life of rape. My experience is like a drop in the ocean. I have felt but a small fraction of their pain and trauma. And that is my heart, that is what I feel called to step up and use my voice and to become part of what Escape do, and my heart for these women.
How I ended up at Escape is like I will never forget that night. It was a Saturday night. So this man and woman stopped next to me and they told me they want to do business. But it's like an overnight thing. I told him it's fine. So I went to this people's place. They were staying in Tableview. And I didn't know they were dogs. And I ended up at the Escape. And I was here for 3 years and I don't regret it for 1 second.
When people ask me why I support Escape, 2 reasons spring to mind. A safe house's entire purpose and passion is to see women rescued from human trafficking safe and fully restored. Another reason why I support Escape, and I believe other people should, is that the team at Escape believes in the power of multiplication. That every victim that is restored not only has her own life changed, but then is able to go into her own community and affect the lives of others. And then those lives affect more lives and so on. So when you invest in Escape, in whatever way, you're investing in a ripple effect of restoration that goes way beyond anything you can see. And that's a beautiful thing.
When I see the hope coming in their eyes again, it's something so precious and so rewarding. And when one make it through the challenges, submit to the process that she has to go through, and end up being able to work again, having a job, and for those that after many years are able to be reunited with their families and to be witnessing this reunion, this connection again, is the most beautiful thing I could hope for.